lay behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile in your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk at the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk at the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk at the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk at the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
Look at Toei. She got herself some new emotes. Got a tractor crossing. She's got a big white.
I think her tractor sexy.
Quiet down, redneck. I like the cow derp. Oh yeah, that's the word we can use now, derp, instead of the R word. I mean, I guess we could just call people a moron. Let's go with that. Now, okay, I'm Travis. Welcome to Talk of the Tavern. March 9th, 2020, where tonight's topic was almost we're getting drunk and glaring and staring at you, and instead we decided to go with a slightly different Disney movies and bitter old people. Us equals fuck you as fuck. So we felt that Disney and the other thing was a nice balance between the two things. And I will be partaking of a shitty cigar, because my others didn't come in, and some cheap bourbon, and some Coke Zero. I guess, wait, we're saving the bitterness for the back half, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to Just Nothing But a Magical Delight. Elizabeth, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, and good evening. It's Elizabeth with Pickleman Productions, picklemanproductions.com. Let the pickle tickle you. Tonight,
Right.
I will be doing, my sins are tea and cranberry juice. And as always, wada wada wada. There you go.
Also, guys, just so you know, Elizabeth is about to start streaming sometime very soon. Not tonight, not tomorrow, but soon. So I'm doing a little shout out. Do me a favor, go give her a follow, guys.
Good morning,
Let's support her. She'll be much more PG and delightful and probably better looking than me here on this stream. So let's make sure we support her also.
And if you want to see a pickle play a ukulele, you're going to have to stay tuned and check it out.
In a
It's
diaper.
magical. In a diaper? Not yet.
Well, you said you had a Cupid pickle.
That was his post on Instagram.
Did he have a diaper on?
No, just the lovely robes, the toga.
I feel cheated. Ed, let's talk to you instead.
Hey, what up? I'm here. I'm drinking double Woodford Reserve. Since Elizabeth got a fancy saying, I guess I need one too. So let my pickle tickle you. So
Give me a nickel.
I will.
Tomorrow, right?
The pickle will come out tomorrow.
Free pickles tomorrow.
The pickle is just a day
It
away.
is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Ooh. Wait, tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah. I don't want to... Wait, are you paying for the pickle on Tuesday for a hamburger today or something like that?
There you go.
I am
and
making...
an orange.
What is that?
And an orange.
And an orange. I made chicken breast in the air fryer today, as well as some Spanish rice in our rice cooker. And now, in the crock pot, I've got some pulled pork barbecue cooking. So, oh, there's Shui Biscuit for a third day in a row. Oh my god. That is the new verse
What
till the
up?
sun will come out tomorrow. Shui Biscuit has joined us for a few nights in a row now. Shui likes the structure of the actual shows. Who knew? Oh, by the way, I wanted to talk to you guys about Saturday night. We did Right Night, where I had, I know their names. Give me just a second. Aaron, Tempe, and Michael Thompson on, and it went really well. They went together seamlessly. Their nervousness was not apparent and or melted away, depending on which one of them. Really, a good show, and something I realized, and I was hoping it'd work out this way, and I think it did, is it's not just for writers. That is absolutely a broad spectrum creative stream. It focuses on writing, but I think a lot of the information is just across the board for people that want to live their dream, make a living off their dream.
Climb every mountain.
So, anybody have anything interesting happen for the past, or during the past week? Not for the past week. That'd be hellish, wouldn't it? 7 days of interesting? Oof.
Ed?
Nah, not this week.
Did you get laid?
Oh, well, that's every week. We're gonna bake our own bacon. That's so we put some bacon in to start doing its thing and curing up and everything, and
What's
see
that
how
mean?
that turns out. Bacon is made from pork belly,
Okay. So like rib meat?
so we got some. No, it's the belly.
The actual
It's the
belly.
fat.
The abs?
Yeah.
Little piggy
Yeah.
abs? And what do you do to make bacon?
Salt it up real good, put it in the refrigerator to cure, and maple or bourbon. We made two types. We made maple syrup, and we're making some bourbon.
How did you not put them
We're gonna
together to have maple bourbon?
Didn't
Maybe
think
when,
of that. We can do that next time.
well, maybe when you cook them, you just put, when you package them up to freeze them, you put one slice of maple, one slice of bourbon, and then they can blend together.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to turn my meat.
What?
I got to turn my meat when the show's over.
Yeah. Keep talking.
See, I'm already done. I'm lighting up. Just
I made,
saying it was enough for me. I'm done.
It's not quite bacon, but I made cabbage, corned beef and cabbage yesterday. We might be busy on St. Patrick's Day, so.
It's that time.
Oh, it's so good. Every time I make it, I always think, oh, I should have bought a bigger one. I should have gotten a bigger one. So good. So good.
Hold on. I'm posting a thing for. Shui says they're starting their D&D game, so basically Shui popped in to say, "Hey, fuck you, I'm out," which I get.
Hey, bye.
So I posted one of the animated
Oh, right on.
things. Yeah, going to play D&D. It's good times there. Is anybody else lurking that I'm not going to call out any lurkers, but I'm going to so look and see if there is or not. I see a few
I think
people.
we're frozen.
We're frozen?
Nah,
No?
I've seen
Oh, I
you.
am in mine. It's like I'm in the middle of, well.
Are you? Oh.
She's moving.
Moving for me. That's your internet.
I felt it.
Oh, that's actually what I wanted to open with, if I may. Elizabeth, grab your glass. Ed, you can grab yours if you are so inclined. Here's what I want to say, guys. You notice we have not cut off yet. And I did a clean Saturday night stream and Sunday night stream without cutting off at all. Because Ed went, "How much is that piece of equipment?" And then I said, "Stop staring at my junk." And he went, "No, I meant the internet thing that you need."
I wouldn't have given you anything for the other one.
You would have given me something.
Mm-hmm.
You said you'd do me? Oh, never mind. I'm a little more broken inside now. Which probably less broken than if he did do me. Just saying. Anyhow. But yeah, here's to Ed. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Because of Ed, we've got a
You're
clean
welcome.
stream again, and that's fucking awesome. Here's to Ed. Helping out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yay.
Maybe, Toey. Hard to say. But yeah, I've got the new thing, and I took the old SIM card and cut it down because SIM cards keep getting smaller. Thank you, Toey.
Thanks, Toby.
She's raining down love and booze just for you. So, what about you, Elizabeth? Any exciting stuff the past week?
I finally I took the plunge and I entered a pretty serious screenwriting contest, the Nicole Fellowship. So that was a big plunge, and yeah, I worked through a serious cold and met the deadline and finally did it. So,
All I
and
can
I'm
say to
prepping
that.
to enter a few.
Oh, I'm sorry, please.
Pardon?
Go on.
And I just am entering more and getting out there, making contacts on Twitter, and just working like a serious professional screenwriter. So there
That
you
is
go.
awesome, and congratulations. But what I'd like to add to that is, fuck Nicole. She's a cunt.
Who? What? Who
Nicole? You said Nicole's writing contest or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Fuck Nicole. She's a cunt. Is what she is.
I actually only currently know one Nicole, and man, she really is.
Well, I hope to win, and then I'll meet her, and
That's
I'll
right.
let you know.
Then you can be like, no, this Nicole must have been a different one. Willow, how are you? Good to see you. You're up late for being in Greece, aren't you?
Wow.
Willow, you walked in the talk of the tavern. That's what we do here. It's you know, it'd be horrible if Willow's like, my real name is Nicole. That'd be rough.
So,
We had our time sheet here in the U.S.
Yep.
So, what, Elizabeth?
that'll be me. I meet her. Oh, hi, Nicole. You know, you don't look like a cunt.
Because you're on your third. There we go. We gotta allow that.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah, absolutely allow that. It's, I have unblocked and allowed the term cunt multiple times. But apparently maybe fucking cunt in the same sentence just confuses Cogsley, and he's just like,
Yeah.
sir, should I hold this? Don't hold that fucking cunt. Let it go.
Oh! I had something else to happen this week.
Yeah.
Or we had something else to happen this week. We just had the best show before the show. You guys missed it. It was great.
Here's what I'll say to that. We had a show we would have done 5 years ago. But because times are changing, we edit ourselves a lot more than you ever realize now. I mean, there were things we wouldn't say or do back then. There's more that we won't do or say now. And it sucks.
Let me put it this way. Okay, I'm I'm the eternal optimist. My gravestone will say, I'm fine. Okay.
That's not optimistic. That's a Jewish grandmother. Oi, it's okay. Just keep walking on top of me. It's all right.
So yesterday, I was sick and hanging out, and the doorbell rang, and I answered the door, and there were two young women, Mormons or Church of Latter-day Saints,
Nice.
standing there, and I went out and I spoke to them, and said hello, and of course I always start off with, just to let you know, I'm Catholic and I'm very devout. But then I proceeded to chat with them, and I noticed that I just talked about, because they questioned what I was doing in my life for Jesus and this and that.
Thank you, Ed.
And I basically got them all inspired,
Celtic cheered.
and I got them to agree that
X300.
things are changing for the better, and it is slow, and it takes a mile to turn a battleship. But faith-based films are on the rise in Hollywood drastically, and also there's starting to be a yearning for the softer, more sincere genre of themes. And so I said, you got to go out. I got them all inspired and happy, and I bless them and praise them and sent them on their way, and they were so happy. And I thought, there you go. It's not about the little differences. It's about the commonalities.
That is... Okay, I was going to say something pithy and witty, but let me just say, no, it absolutely is about the commonalities. Mm-hmm. And that's the first step. The second step is then to celebrate the differences and learn from each other and expand in that way. It's because let me tell you what, if you do not look like me, if you were not raised like me, if you are of a different ethnic group or whatever, I want to eat whatever you just cooked. Pretty much fucking guarantee it. And that is one difference that I will always celebrate with anybody who is not, local to wherever I come from. Let me try your home cooking.
Yeah.
But beyond that, that is a great segue to Disney movies.
Can I get an amen?
That's right.
Amen.
Which, even if,
Yeah.
whether religious or not, Disney movies definitely are the lighter, more fun. Now, they have a deeper theme, which I think is important. What do you guys think has made the Disney movies that have become timeless, which is not all of them, by any stretch, but the ones that have become timeless, what do you think, what is the essence in there that's caused that? Ed, let's start with you. Well, I know Elizabeth is going to have like multiple points of views coming at this one because of her experience and her mindset.
Early timeless Disney movies, what I would think of as timeless, the typical Cinderella, Snow White, blah 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 blah. Simplicity yet a story, and appealing to both adults and children.
I think that's a good summarization. Toei says most of the stories were timeless before Disney got a hold of them, which is a fair point.
True.
Because if we look at now, by the way, I would say a lot of the Pixar, which is Disney associated or Disney owned, I'd say a lot of the Pixar stuff is timeless. And if it's not, then I will root for most of them to be timeless. Except The Good Dinosaur and Ratatouille. I don't care about those either way.
Oh, I thought you liked Ratatouille.
Oh, I
As a
like it,
chef.
but I don't think it hit the level of some of the other stuff. I think even Tempe, there's somebody who is on Saturday night for Write Night. Tempe, post a link to your books, please. She's an incredible writer who has been only writing for a year or two and has 4+ out, 8+ total, if you count what's with editors, and a goddamn delight to be in the same room with. So, Elizabeth.
Oh.
Hi, Elizabeth.
I was just uploading the PowerPoint presentation.
The one you made or somebody else's so you can study it while we're doing the show?
Okay. I agree with Ed. And I think what Disney did was he created an art form that was sincere and celebratory of great craft. And I just posted a link to the song from Ichabod Crane, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And Bing Crosby is the narrator. He plays many of the voices. And I used it in class just recently. And these 3 boys, teenagers, were bopping along to this music that's at least 60 years old, probably 70
At
now,
least,
or 80
yeah.
even. And I think that's what it used to be about. It used to be about a character, whether it was Pinocchio or an elephant, was struggling with emotions that we struggle with as humans. And it was fun to relate to an elephant taking its first bath with its mom. And
I
there's not
remember
even
taking my
dialogue
first bath
spoken.
with an elephant. Dated her for 2 years.
I thought you were going to say your first bath with your mom. Like, okay.
My mom was a skinny thing.
And I missed that. I mean, it was, I think so often now the movies have turned into a money-making machine, which is fine, but the appeal, it's almost too modern, it's too pop cultural, and it's oftentimes missing that human element. And I think Pixar really nails it a lot. And sometimes they miss it. You can't do 100%, but they really get a lot. Finding Nemo is fabulous.
I want to jump in here if it's not going to derail something else you want to hit on before I do. So it's okay? It's a good time?
Why break tradition?
Okay. I love Little Mermaid. But Little Mermaid in the past 5 years has come under some major fucking fire. Because it's essentially, look at my titties, don't worry about my personality. It's about, I'm almost a prisoner here. It's this horrible thing of only value my looks, not who I really am. And this is what it's come up to. Now, it's a timeless story in the sense it's been around for hundreds of years. Disney did a beautiful job, even with the end change, which we get. But here's something that spoke to the generation deeply. When it came out in '89, it hit a lot of people with that struggle of wanting to be part of a different world than what you're incorporated in, which I think is an eternal a teenager struggle. But now, 20, 30 years later, people are looking at it going, what a horrible example to girls. Any thoughts on that?
The Little Mermaid flashed her titties?
Well, she did in the porn I watched. Please move on, Ed. Keep going.
Well, okay.
Sexy.
I've heard that before. And before, 15 years ago, someone I know was teaching Sunday school and said that the Little Mermaid, you shouldn't idolize her because she gave up everything just for a guy. And
Right.
I thought about it, and my response was, however, she sacrificed everything again for her family and to save people. And, it's part of empathy is acknowledging weakness and maybe not even the good things in yourself. And I think so often, you nitpick things like you. We're all screwed up. We've all done bad things. And like I said at the show at the beginning, we were jokingly, but I said, surely I have so many other things you could hate me for,
right,
rather than who I voted for.
Right. And trust me, I
human.
don't care who you voted for. I've got the other things right here. But
it is just a story, too.
It's
just a movie.
But also, really, how many teenagers have we known throughout our lives that have fallen in love for one reason? They saw somebody and they create this fantasy world in their head. This is not necessarily an unrealistic story for a teenager to bail on everything they know and puppy dog after anybody at any risk for any reason. And of course, the lesson learned at the end is there is more than just that. And
well, people give up their individualism and get their faces pierced and tattoos and this and that, and they don't really know why they are, but everyone else says, so they do it.
Don't try to steer me towards the danger topic I'm trying to avoid tonight. I almost got the hook, but I'm not taking the bait.
I'll reel it back in.
I have lost access to conventions because of that topic.
But isn't that though, like when you read a story and we're talking characters, nobody wants a perfect character. It's not interesting then.
They think they do, but they don't.
Flaws.
You're absolutely right. Though,
right.
I had something recently. Who was it I was talking to? I was so pleased. Oh, it was Michael Thompson on Saturday night. He said he read Harbinger. And he said his favorite character is Sight. Cite, who is kind of your perfect, upstanding, caring, understanding. He's got no flaws. But because he's surrounded by these flawed people, he stands out as flawed compared to them. Because he's not broken yet. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I wish I had done that shit on purpose. But, yeah. Let's talk about the crabs for a moment, because we all appreciated that fucking comment. How when we mentioned Little Mermaid, going, I thought it was about a girl who had crabs. And Ed giggled and covered his mouth, and I put LOL, and Pickle Lady, she loved her crabs. She'd named them. Which, who knew that she'd name them after a famous 80s hair band rocker? Sebastian. Who he is still touring and will be in D.C. sometime this year. Just so you know.
Yeah.
We even had a song. Where are you going with that, Elizabeth? You know, you can say it out loud.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Which C is not just for cookie. Could be for crabs. Could be for cock. Could be for coffee. Could be for cock. C has so many things. There's a T-shirt.
But I was just thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pinocchio. Pinocchio is a great spiritual journey, right? And at the one of the, not quite the climax, but leading to it, he does fall. He falls from being a hero, and he actually physically becomes a jackass. And they're drinking, and they're smoking. They're hanging out in a tavern.
I'm not sure what the problem here is, Elizabeth.
That's the point. It's not that people don't screw up. Our hero never fails. The hero fails constantly, but it keeps rising. It keeps going.
Yeah.
And hopefully learns from the failures.
So I'm seeing, good things from Pinocchio, and Aladdin has a similar arc and all this. Whereas the females, I don't know, Willa. Was that shots fired? I don't know what happened. By the way, I first read that, was that shots Fred? I'm like, who's Fred?
Who's Fred?
But, with the Disney women films, female lead films, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Little Mermaid, straight up into, yeah, well, I got it. If it wasn't, I definitely turned it into shots fired, because here at the tavern, we don't mind doing shots. Hey!
Hey!
Yo!
Ed did that shot so big it created feedback. The fuck? So, but until pretty much Brave, where Disney consciously went, we're gonna go this way, you don't need a man. And Frozen followed, where, the romance wasn't the A plot, it was the B plot. But with the boys, they always had, I guess, well, Pinocchio didn't have a romantic interest, did he?
No.
I mean, besides that one violin with the knothole, but that was cut from the final.
Yeah, he just had wood, but nothing to do with it.
And it grew. Just like real men, every time he
Well,
lied.
there was the fairy.
At least the fairy didn't have a
But
beard
what's-
being like, hey, how you doing, Pinocchio?
I mean, I don't mind that, there's a love interest. I mean,
Mhm.
that's fine. That's part of life. It's okay. I thought Brave was fun.
I like Brave.
Wasn't my favorite.
And I appreciated the divergence from their regular theme of here's a
I thought you were
love
going to
story.
say the nudity.
There was nudity. Right? God,
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta watch these movies.
There was,
Brave?
there was more than
Little
one
Mermaid?
bare ass.
Favorite of you.
Yeah, the mother, total bare ass, naked. Just to push that punchline a little. So Disney now has definitely taken it into their consciousness that the world is changing, and Disney, though often aimed at all children, were very female-driven movies. But you know what? I even loved the Frog and The Frog and the Princess, done in 1920s New Orleans. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. And I think the stronger love story was with the goddamn firefly and the star. Have you guys seen this movie?
I
Yeah.
think I saw it a very long time ago.
Check it out. And there is a Dumbo drunk scene. Elizabeth, you
I
can't...
tell you,
Yeah.
What was that?
I was saying you could call that shit out. Even you could type it also, but you could read your own comment out loud if you want.
It's kind of fun just to put it out there for people
Okay.
to look at. And
Because I'm going to read that shit out loud.
Pinocchio's up next, gang. Just hang on.
Toey, which one's a good one? Which one are you agreeing with? And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and step over into that gray, dark, shadowy corner for a moment and go, you guys will notice there's a lot more moderators in my chat. Because sometimes Travis will take shit when he shouldn't because of the topic and whatnot. And the moderators are there to protect me from my own nice guyness. Hold on, let me make Elizabeth a moderator real quick. Ed,
Yeah.
I think you're already one.
Yeah.
No, I can... Hold on, I gotta go to the real thing. And Elizabeth, because Elizabeth is going to start streaming, I actually purposely kept her away from moderator because it didn't feel like she needed that responsibility. But with her running her own channel, I want her to have moderator abilities elsewhere so she can learn how to take care of themselves. By the way, when I was writing 27 Thoughts on Streaming on Twitch, Toei specifically, Elizabeth, talking to you directly here, Toei specifically said, make sure you mention having rules, drawing a line, and sticking to them. That was one of the things, because Toei, as I was talking to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth, Toei, you two might want to get together and help each other out. Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome. Gotta represent.
Because Elizabeth was like, hey, if somebody crosses the line, I will kick them, and if they whisper me going, oops, my bad, here's a reason, she may give them one more chance. What I'll say is, when you're in somebody's stream, it's their house. Respect that. When I'm over in Toei's stream, I don't use the adult language I use on my stream. And just have some consideration for the streamer, people. I don't put rules up like don't be a dick because I feel like it goes unsaid. It's regular social intuition. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah,
It's
Princess
funny.
and the... Yes?
Comment real quick. Okay, so recently I was at a brewery with a couple friends, and it was 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock by the time we all got there, and people had children running around the brewery and a lot of dogs. And I made the comment, oh, I knew I forgot something, children and dogs. So I thought it was improper, and I still do, to have children at a place where people are intentionally getting drunk, like at a brewery. It's not a restaurant where you're drinking beer and eating a meal. And I just don't think, I don't want to be around kids when I'm imbibing. Now, it's interesting that one of my friends, not the teacher, argued with me and said, well, it's normal. That's normal. And I said, well, it may be done nowadays, but it's not normal. And I was wondering, because I posted the little link to cigars and beer scene in Pinocchio and Dumbo, and how these movies are gotten heat recently because, I can't believe you have people getting drunk in front of children in a Disney movie. Well, I can, because you're bringing your children to where people are getting
It's normal,
drunk.
Elizabeth. Why would anybody have a problem with it? It's normal. It's normal.
So it's wrong when it's not even real, when it's just drawings, but it's okay when it's real life. So I'm confused.
Well, it's like
I think
I've
someone needs to
mentioned,
explain this to me.
pipes and cigars now, or cigarettes, can make a movie rated R if it's shown more than a certain amount of seconds.
Certain number of times. Yeah.
Right. And
Crazy.
is this, but then again, so do titties. And there are cities where it's whole states where it's perfectly legal to walk around as a woman totally topless. Nude beaches are legal. And anybody can enter them. But these we're pulling away from. But hold on, let me show some blood splatter here while I chop somebody's head off or blow a hole through it the size of my forearm. And that's okay for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Just a thought.
Which, by the way, referring back to that, there's been many times where I have Ed's like, hey, I'm doing something in my house. And I'm like, kid-friendly or not? And I won't go if he's like, nope. And I'm not offended either. I'm not like, why not? Because frankly, if Ed's having a party where it's not kid-friendly, I don't want to bring my damn kid. I want to go alone. And now
Isn't it nice, though, that you ask? Because I work events like beer tastings and wine tastings, and people just show up with babies and toddlers.
I don't think it's
Right.
nice that I ask. I think it's why wouldn't you ask if it wasn't clarified initially? And I'm not asking for him to make an exception. I know you don't like, but can I? No, I'm just asking because it wasn't made clear. Kids or no kids on this one. And now that my son is 17, I am happy to say I will no longer be asking if it's kid friendly because I ain't bringing that little fucker to anything till he's 23.
Hey, if it's, and I said this to someone else, I said, well, if it's normal to get drunk and drink in front of children, then can I drink beer at school? Is that normal? Is that okay? You know, I should be able to drink in class. That's normal.
Hold on,
And
I'm
then,
mentally
well.
debating this whole thing now. Okay, here's all I can say. If the teacher can do it, well, maybe not the kids, but the parents that come in for the conferences definitely should be able.
There's a video where Greta Thunberg is talking to UN or something, and one of the representatives tells her,
It's the EU, and he tells her to go back to school.
yeah, go back to school, and your childhood is the most precious thing in your life now, and you need to have it. And he said, just like the environment is the most precious thing. And people tried to get worked up about it, but that was actually a very sincere comment.
Yeah,
I
that's.
would have to agree with that.
You know, as much as I agree with what Greta is doing and what Greta is pushing for and what Greta is concerned about, he's not, or she, I don't know what gender the person who said it, whoever said it.
Stop.
No, that's. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. But on the other hand, Tempe says, we had big parties. We always hired someone to watch the little ones at the party and kept them entertained. Tempe, that's not unreasonable.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with children seeing alcohol and debauchery within a certain level. Absolutely. I think it is normal. Yeah. But to go out to an event that is an adult-oriented event. Maybe if you have a nursing mother with a baby, that's one thing. Toei says, climate changed my gender. How dare it? You know what? Toei, shut your whore mouth. What is wrong with you? We don't talk about those things. Here's to the change in your climate. Yeah, and may your warm and humid spots always sprout wood. Oh my God.
Changed my.
Murda's going to pause here for a moment of silence. Because I have to think back, if people can be gender fluid and from day to day choose which gender they are, why can't I choose to be a black man today and Mexican tomorrow and white the day after?
I got a nipple. He bit. Here we go.
What's your favorite Disney movie, Ed? I know the answer, but say it. Your favorite Disney movie?
Lady and the Tramp, actually. You thought I was going to say Song of the South, didn't you?
I imagine Snow White, because it's an unconscious white woman that anybody can...
Well, yeah, it is an unconscious white woman. Yeah. But, yeah. Cinderella, Snow White, they're all very close in there. But Lady and the Tramp, it's a good old-fashioned love story.
It really is. Have you seen the live action yet?
No, I have not.
Neither have I. I'm getting gun shy about their live action. Not because they're horrible. They're always just like 2 notches shy of the animated. And I'm like, why do I need something that's just not quite what the animated was? Make it either very different, like Maleficent was to Sleeping Beauty. But don't retell the same story, I guess. I don't know. Elizabeth, what about you? Favorite Disney movie?
Either Dumbo, Pinocchio. Was it just because they're just so magnificently beautiful? And I really liked Sleeping Beauty because they had such a different art change in the style, and it had a dragon. And Maleficent had the best villain entrance ever. And then they fucked it up in the movie. They
The live action.
fucked it to hell. Yes, the
Yeah.
live action movie sucks, and I don't care what anyone says. It sucks. Sucks.
How do you feel about it, then?
It sucks.
You know,
Okay.
oddly enough, look at Gary subscribing at Tier 2 for 17 months. Hello, Gary. Here's to your beautiful face, my friend. Emperor's New Groove, says Chris. Yeah, everybody else chime in with their favorites.
Pepper Garten has
For me,
subscribed for
Like
17
Andrea,
months in a row.
sorry, Elizabeth.
17
Sleeping
total.
Beauty has always been a
Hello,
favorite of
people.
Toei's. I have different ones for different reasons. My first one, the first Disney movie I remember seeing is Peter Pan at the drive-in theater in the back of a station wagon with the seats that faced the wrong way, and I had pillows and blankets, and it's just a beautiful memory. Though in '89, when Little Mermaid came out, followed by Aladdin and a couple others, Lion King, etc., this was where Disney hit their stride again. Then they fucked it up with Rosie O'Donnell as a cow. But thank God Pixar was there every year.
Never mind.
Accurate.
This coming from Trump people, by the way. Wait, does Rosie like... wait, did I say Rosie O'Donnell? Roseanne O'Barr, sorry. Roseanne Barr. If I said Rosie O'Donnell, that's my mistake, guys. My bad. I feel like they could be cousins and argue at a fucking picnic somewhere with their families. But...
I just posted the entrance in Sleeping Beauty.
What's that?
Original.
You went really quiet. I didn't hear the first part of the sentence.
I apologize. I just posted the link to Maleficent's entrance in Sleeping Beauty.
Gotcha. It's but some of the modern ones I really do enjoy, and I did like Little Mermaid and Aladdin, and even Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is the one people complain about, where she's a prisoner and she's in love, and they're like, that's horrible to teach young girls it's okay for that sort of thing.
Which movie are you talking about?
Did
Beauty
you
and the
just
Beast.
totally change my slow mode in the room?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I
I
don't
thought-
care. I'm still debating if slow mode's a good idea for non-subscribers.
All
Okay.
right, I'll change it back. I forgot I was moderator. I'm sorry.
Elizabeth's like, let me fuck with shit now that I have power. Hold on a
What's
while.
this? Let me hit this button.
I'm gonna Maleficent all over fucking people now.
I was getting tired of waiting. Like, damn it.
Actually, let me ask the viewers and you guys. See, something I wanted to do. The reason I changed it to a 30-second slow mode that I didn't have before 3 days ago, Stockholm Syndrome, that's correct, Chris, is I wanted to give more oomph and reason for when people do subscribe. And here's the bottom line. If somebody subscribes, it's not to get the perks. It's to support what we do here. So, slow mode or not, it gives them a perk, but that's how you spell my ex-wife's name there, Elizabeth. You might want to do it with a CH instead.
I am, but I'm waiting. My 30.
Oh, yeah, you're not a subscriber. Oh. Why? Wait, I thought you were a subscriber. What happened?
I don't know. Maybe that'll help.
So, Ed, what do you think? Slow mode to
Slow mode.
perk
Yeah.
for subscribers? And Elizabeth, what do you think?
That's fine. I'm happy.
Good that you're happy. I'm happy that you're happy. Yeah, I'm kind of ambivalent about the whole thing, and just like to give the people that do support. Chris says, I don't know it's necessary. There, 22
You're
months.
subscribed now.
See, you got to keep that shit up, Elizabeth. Thank you. 22 months. I don't know that it's necessary until you have more viewers. I'm getting more viewers every single day, Chris. And it's just a matter of deciding where that line is. Everybody else, please chime in, because you guys are my regulars. You are the people that we do this for. This includes you, Witches, Willow, Gary, Toei, and everybody else who I'm not calling out of your dark lurking corners. Throw your opinion in. I might even listen to it. Chat doesn't move fast enough. That's an interesting thought there, Chris. Valid thought. So yeah, I think Peter Pan, of course, I also love the idea of not growing up. But Peter Pan, even though he wouldn't grow up, he still handled his shit. He was still responsible for his stuff. He took care of the boys. He protected his people. Yeah, Willow, I know. I know that's what he means. And if you guys that... Oh. Can I say guys, please?
Say what the fuck you want, damn it.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. That's the second half of the show where I'm bitter.
That's
sorry.
right. We keep blending the two topics. Chris, are you home? Do you want in on the show, man? Are you someplace where you can jump in now? Let us know if you want in. And Kevin, I'm assuming Kevin's asleep on the couch with a cold cup of coffee next to him and an unlit cigarette.
Wow. I did like Robin Hood just because I love Robin Hood. So
yeah,
it's fun. It's always fun to see characters as animals, and the snake was fabulous. Just
Sir Hiss.
He tickled the king's ear. He's like, "Oh, stop it, Hiss." I was thinking, so pretty. I really miss hand-drawn animation. I love it. And in fact, there's a movie out, I think it won Best Animated Film this year, called Klaus, and it's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It's fun. It's a good story.
Is that the cobbler and the guy doing the Santa Claus thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I watched it, and I thought it was 3D, and it's not. And what they did was they animated it all with drawings, and they got together with this French company and developed a program that could actually light drawings to where they look dimensional.
Wow.
It's extraordinary. You gotta check it out. Visually, it's stunning.
And Toei says Klaus is good. I agree. Chris says we had to buy a second VHS tape because the tape broke because I watched Robin Hood so much as a kid. Which, by the way, is probably better if Chris doesn't come in for the second half of the show anyway, because he is not bitter. I see Chris as a genuine nice guy. I don't know if he'd be good for that. He could just stare at us with his lips puckered the whole time.
You can pull it out of him.
It's probably best if we don't hurt his personality by initiating him into this old bullshit that we got into.
Well, you gotta get it out. You gotta get it out. You can't let it stay in there and fester.
Unless if you're on public transportation, then do not get it out.
Did you see that? Oh, I'll have to save it. But I gotta say, did you see that video of the guy at Whole Foods with the soup ladle, just drinking right out of the soup with the ladle?
No. That's gotta be hot. Ow.
Oh, hot.
Not like sexy, not like Elizabeth's like, look at that guy. He's got chutzpah. I bet you he has his own box. Toei says Chris is not nearly evil enough, and Chris says that one and Sword in the Stone.
Yes.
Lunches and crunches in here somewhere.
Some people are thinking that this guy could be the source of the coronavirus. Here's the link.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Is that the guy drinking?
I will never buy soup again.
Oh no, they're just. Okay,
no soup for you.
So besides, now Disney movies could also encompass the Marvel Universe, as well as Star Wars, and we haven't touched on those at all because when we say Disney movies, in our heads, because of our age, we go, oh, animated, sweet movies. And again, we can go into Marvel and Star Wars, but I don't really want to. If you guys want to, let me know.
It's something within itself, I think.
Where would we like to see Disney animated movies go? I like the positive changes they've made where they brought it forward into the modern era where women can be individuals without necessarily needing a man. Though the romantic subplot, like in Frozen, I have not seen Frozen 2, so I don't know, but in Frozen 1, it was a subplot that never seeded. It missed on purpose. They purposely did that, and I appreciated that. Just like Brave, where she chose, I'm not ready to choose. I enjoyed that aspect because now we just had a character by themselves without being driven by I need somebody else to make my success. Sorry, breathe too deep there. And I think that would be nice to because I've always bitched about when you have a really cool action flick and they just fucking wedge a romance subthread into it and you're like, why is that even there?
No.
That
Why?
is not necessary. Toei says there must be new great children's lit that could be adapted instead of endlessly remaking story everyone has seen 12 times. Toei, I could give you a little love for that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris says more things like Atlantis, the Lost Empire, more myths and such, and less fairy tales.
Right. Which that kind of falls hand in hand with exactly what Toei was saying right there. It also kind of parallels what I'm saying. But yeah, that's a great idea. It's original. Actually, Moana was nice for that too, because it went with a mythology instead of a fairy tale. And I do love Moana. That is just a fun film without
Moana.
a romantic subplot. Instead, it has two character arcs that intertwine and they both grow.
I like the way it was resolved.
In
That
what
she
way?
defeated the villain through empathy and peace.
Right. That was nice, right?
It was beautiful. My God, that was beautiful.
Oh, now you
Yeah.
have me thinking about what I write, huh?
Yeah. That's something not to I do that as a limitation in any Pickleman story. He's not allowed to kill anything.
What about Hope? Can he kill that?
Well, maybe for a while.
That's right.
But I every time it's on TV, I find myself watching Tangled. I just
Tangled is a great movie. Ed, have you seen Tangled?
It makes me laugh.
It's worth the
so
watch,
funny.
dude. Definitely. Can I say dude?
No, not even for the nude scene.
Not even for the nude scene. Chris says,
Fair enough.
or like more anthropomorphized things like the Great Mouse Detective. And actually, Willow, you have a great night. Thank you for joining us and putting up with us.
Good night, Willow.
We will see you soon, I hope. Yeah, actually, like, I wouldn't mind seeing like Robin Hood or Great Mouse Detective, The Rescuers. I think these were onto something. Lady and the Tramp could be included in that also. Because these were things that took us out of our world and put us in a new world. But our world still existed beside it. Well, not necessarily in Robin Hood, but... Or Cars. Cars was another one. And again, I do like to separate Pixar against Disney. Because they are two different sets of movies. Even though Oliver and Company... I felt let down by Oliver and Company, though. As much as I love Billy Joel. I just... That one never stuck the way some of the others did. So, we've got about 5 minutes before the hour.
Wow.
What?
Already?
Already.
Oh, yeah? Wall-E and Pixar.
Oh, that was a good one.
The music was great, Chris. Absolutely agree. So, does anybody need a quick break?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, and this is going to be part of the bitter old people. Where, 2 hours sitting in one chair without visiting the restroom, not necessarily the best idea.
Oh no, my ass is asleep.
Ed's gonna get up and tap that ass for a minute to wake it up. Go, guys, because when you get back, I will go. Literally go. Or figuratively. Which is it? Here's what I want to say, guys. Do me a favor and subscribe. If you have Twitch Prime, hook up your Twitch Prime. Subscribe for free, no cost to you. Because you guys help me build a dream for other people. See that? Chris, defending us older people. Right away. It's, oh, damn it. Move that over there. It's, with the subscribe thing, remember, here at the Tavern, whether I'm writing, whether I'm doing what we're doing tonight, or playing D&D, I'm showing people their dreams come true by subscribing. And if you just subscribe, please, because it helps us, all of us, make people's dreams come true. Because we love to share our ideas, create something special and unique. And we're making that happen for all of us. Not about the money, it's not about anything except being creative, sharing it, and helping others. And it's not all exciting. It also shows the work side of things, because there is work. To every success, there's work. So it's about you. It's about you helping yourself, helping others, and all of us working together for these things. We want the channel to have the power to help people succeed their own dreams, to inspire, to encourage, to support as they did that. And you wouldn't want somebody to miss out because they didn't have a place like this to help them. So here's to all you that do subscribe. And here's to all of you that support in other ways. Even just showing up. Big help. Thank you for that. I'm debating on a second cigar or not. By the way, you guys see Ed's background? Isn't that pretty background? He cans and all his own stuff there. And he's making his own bacon now. When he gets back, we should ask him about bacon jam. That's good stuff. I do want to remind you guys, on Saturday night, we now have Right Night set up. On Sunday night, we have Stealing for Survival, our Dungeons & Dragons game. So join us for a fantasy adventure in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world. And all that good stuff. Those are not necessarily quite as rough around the edges as Talk of the Tavern. But they do show the joy of imagination. And that's something I think is very important, is using your mind to create something better than what's around you. So what do you think? Should we talk about them while they're gone? They've been gone a while. Maybe they're going number 2. Nope, apparently just refilling drinks. So that's okay too. Let's give Elizabeth a little wave. Totally act like we weren't talking about her. Welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back. Did you? Binary, I did see you lurking. I wasn't going to call you out. Good to see you, my friend. I am hoping you are doing well out there in Iran. I know things have been, oof, to put it subtly. Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Elizabeth, what's on your shirt?
It says we're all mad here. It's from, it's like a woodblock print from Alice in Wonderland. Cheshire Cat, baby. $6 t-shirts. It's a great deal. I tend to buy t-shirts with literary sayings or ideas, and I wear them to school just to kind of get the kids subtle notions about life. This is one of my favorites. Another one I have is Be Kind. One has Aesop's Fables, quote, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Oh, wasn't a lemur. Sorry, Terry. I feel like I need to buy more of this one. I love wearing it. Like we're all crazy. We're all in some way, form of another. Don't judge too hard. And there's Ed. Everyone's back. Oops. All right.
There we go. And it looks like Binary says mad as fuck.
I'll wave my private parts at your
Who is
auntie.
it? Gary. What are you checking out there? Retro t-shirts.
Thanks, Gary. These are funny.
What the fuck is that?
Whose line is it anyway? I don't think I could wear that at school. Oh, I could just get sucked into this website.
I know, I'm closing it down right now because I went and looked. Toy says, nice. I just saw the tail and thought it might have been a lemur. I thought it was a cat or a tiger or something, but yeah, it's So, okay, let's come over here and get another cigar.
I'm getting a munch on some broccoli salad my mother made.
You know what I bought? I bought Brussels sprouts, which I'm not a big Brussels sprout fan, but if you bake them and season them and get them nice and crispy and crunchy, they are a different animal. They're actually very good. What are you eating, Ed? Are you eating bacon jam? Is it just a bagel, or is it some kind of special bagel that you made in your crazy little world? I tell you what, I went and bought the
It was dripping with butter.
It was.
Dripping.
Real butter, I bet. It's I went and bought preserves to make toast, because there's nothing better than a good piece of toasted bread, whether it's a bagel, an English muffin, or just bread, with a good preserve with real sugars, if any sugars, which with preserves you often don't even have sugar added. It's a beautiful thing, people. Okay, let's